Hi and welcome back. I'm Ashley Oswald, dietitian and founder of Oswald Digestive Clinic, and I'm so excited to be here with one of my awesome nutrition interns, Kate, where she's going to share her story of how she used functional nutrition to help get rid of some sleep issues that she was having, some really severe sleep issues, actually. So I'm so excited for her to share her story in hopes that it will help some of you. And I just want to start by doing a shout out. I mean, Kate's been working for our clinic, interning with our clinic for almost a year now. It's been 9 months, and she has just been fantastic. If you saw the Insomnia video we have up, she helped to create the outline and content for that video, and I just filmed it. She's created a lot of really wonderful handouts, which I am going to do a screen share of one of her handouts about whether you should be taking probiotics with antibiotics, and then I'll post that as a video on this YouTube channel too. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell so that you get notified of new videos, and you'll see that one come through in the upcoming weeks or maybe a couple months. And I think that's everything I want to say. So thank you so much, Kate, for all you've done with and for our clinic, and I'm excited for you to share your story here. So do you want to kind of just dive right in?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I love working for Ashley. It's so much fun, all the projects she has me help out with. And I'm, very happy to help out with this, especially because I suffered from horrible insomnia for the first few months of this school year. And I really want to help and share my story. If anybody else, other students, other people my age, of any age, are suffering from the same thing, because I could not figure out what the problem was. And Ashley helped me to figure out the problem, and I haven't suffered from insomnia since.
It's amazing. And it wasn't anything earth-shattering either, right, Kate? To the point, yeah. Kate's like, I see Kate as kind of, you're part analytical, but you're really good at understanding the big picture too. And so your analytical nature, I'm so excited for you to share that, because I think even you were kind of skeptical, and you're like, there's no way this could have been what worked, but nothing else had changed for you.
Right, yeah, it was such a simple fix. I couldn't believe that was the case, but yeah, there's no other explanation.
Yeah, so why don't you kind of start by telling us what your life was like and how it was impacting your life?
Right, so yeah, the first month of school, kind of, I guess, last month of summer, I started noticing it. I started not feeling tired at night at all. I would go to bed and my body would feel tired. I would feel like it was time to go to bed, but my brain would just be wide awake, running a million miles a minute. I don't know. I just couldn't stop thinking. It was weird. I would just like play songs in my head over and over again. It was just boom, boom, boom. I don't know what. It just felt like I had drank a big cup of coffee or something. And so I started trying to practice better, like getting ready for bed habits. I would try not to go on my phone. I would only drink coffee in the morning. I would do everything I can. I would stay active during the day, different things to try to make me more sleepy at night, and nothing worked. And this was the beginning of my first semester of this year, and then compared to other semesters, it was pretty lax. I didn't have a super busy schedule. I wasn't anxious over homework. I had a easier workload, definitely in comparison to other semesters. And there was no big changes in my life. There was nothing really crazy that was happening. There was no reason why I would be really anxious at night. So I don't think it was anxiety induced at all. It just felt like there was a connection that wasn't there in my head, or I just would not get sleepy. And so some nights I would get a couple hours of sleep, maybe like 2 or 3, really choppy. I'd wake up, go back to sleep, wake up. And then some nights I just would not sleep for 1 single hour. I would just lay in bed wide awake, and I just could not get tired. And it was the weirdest thing. And it was just such a weird feeling in my brain where I just wasn't tired. And so I'd not sleep for a full night, same deal the next night, not sleep for a full night. And after like 2 or 3 days, I'd be like, okay, I have to sleep. It's been like 3 days of not sleeping. Like I must, like you would think I would have like the best sleep after that, but no, it was just either over and over, really choppy, or no sleep at all. And that lasted quite a while. And so obviously I really struggled in school at that point, because I'd wake up and have to get to class the next morning. There's nothing I could do about it. And so that definitely took a toll on my stress. And you would think I would after, weeks or a couple days of that I would just get one really good sleep in there to make up for that. And I never did. It was quite a while before I really got one nice solid sleep after all that was happening.
It is so wild. And if anybody has missed sleep for like one night, I mean, I'm sure our parents have had nights like that. They probably understand how hard it is to get through the next day. And I can't even imagine going days like that, especially during school. And were you working as well? And
Yeah,
of course,
school,
you're
working a bit. But yeah, school was just the hardest thing. And then I would try to nap after class during the day, but I couldn't even nap during the day. It was weird. I just still had that wide awake feeling in my brain.
Yeah. And had you ever had that experience before in your life?
No, it was totally new to me. And of course, I've had restless nights and nights I couldn't sleep when I can think of a valid reason for having that. It's like some big event or being nervous for something or anxious for a test or something. But that was the first time I'd ever experienced that with no reason I could think of as to why I just can't sleep.
Yeah, and so why don't we kind of dive in then and talk about what it was that actually finally helped you and how you kind of went about introducing it. I know there was a time that you had stopped doing it too, and what you noticed and then what you noticed when you restarted it.
Yeah, so I came to Ashley for help because obviously I was struggling helping her out with projects too. And so before I came to Ashley, I actually went to the doctor and got blood tests done because they wanted to know if I had a thyroid problem or if there was a bigger problem going on. And all my blood tests came back normal, totally normal. So that was even more frustrating almost because there was no reason why I shouldn't be sleeping. And so I couldn't get a long-term fix from the doctor. I was prescribed a sleeping medication to help me short-term for times when I had like a big exam the next day or something where I really needed to get a good sleep in. But of course, a powerful sleeping medication is not a long-term fix, and that's something that I wanted to avoid as much as I could. So I came to Ashley for help for more of a long-term fix, obviously something that would be sustainable that I could actually implement into my routine that would fix this problem for good. And so what Ashley did was ask me what medications I was taking and tried to see if there was a reason in terms of nutrients, if I was deficient in some nutrient where I might be having this problem. And so what we found out is with the birth control I'm taking, one of the most common nutrients to be deficient in is magnesium. And so I was like, yes, I just want to try anything at this point. I cannot sleep. I will try anything. And so what we did, I ordered magnesium through Ashley's nutrient dispensary, and I started taking that. And at the same time as I started taking that, I had a big exam that I was studying for, like tirelessly studying for. And so I took magnesium that night, the night after that exam. So I was exhausted in the first place, but I had been, exhausted the whole previous month. And so I took the magnesium, and then those next 2 nights after taking it for the first time, I had slept better than I had ever slept in so long. And it was the best thing ever. And I was like, okay, there's no way that this vitamin could help me just all of a sudden sleep again. But there was really no other explanation. I mean, yeah, I was tired from studying for an exam for so long, but that didn't do it in the past, and so then I continued to take magnesium as Ashley directed, and since then I haven't had that same feeling in my brain since I've been able to sleep. And even if I do have like a rough, choppy sleep, then I have an explanation for it, if I'm nervous or anxious or something. But that same kind of weird disconnect I had felt in my brain during that time, I haven't felt that since.
That's amazing. And I think I love that you added that you went to the doctor and got some workup done, because that's what we encourage our clients to do too. It's really important to rule out anything really major, and then we can kind of dive into some of these other components. And I also made sure to ask Kate about her medical history to make sure that, the recommendations were going to be appropriate as well, since we know nutrition has to be personalized. And I'm glad that we were able to piece it together pretty easily. And just knowing with magnesium, it's estimated that 70% of people have a magnesium deficiency. So I just knew Kate, being in school, working, stress probably, throughout her adult life, had decrease some of her magnesium stores as well, and that compounded with the birth control just make total sense. And a magnesium supplement is it's really relatively safe. So like you said, Kate, like you're willing to try anything, and this was something that was so safe to just give it a go. And then to add to it, there's different forms of magnesium. So the one I recommended for Kate is magnesium glycinate, which is a better absorbed form. There's in the stores, like at Target, Walmart, there's magnesium citrate, magnesium oxide are the most common because they're just cheaper. But reality is they're not as well absorbed. And if somebody's having stools or diarrhea, and Kate wasn't, but if somebody is and they're trying to use that magnesium to help with sleep, it could actually make their gut worse and then not be as absorbed. And they might think it's just not working too. So I'm glad that Kate was able to get set up through the dispensary with a professional quality magnesium.
Yeah, it was so easy. And like I said, I couldn't believe it that it was such a simple fix. But so yeah, since then I've been taking magnesium regularly, and for I guess a few weeks ago, I'd had such success with it. I hadn't had the same insomnia, so I kind of weaned off of it. I don't know. I guess I just suppose I forgot a bit the transition from back home from my college house with the given circumstances. You know, I left it at my campus house for a while, and then. So I wasn't taking it as regularly, and then surely enough, I started not sleeping the best again, and so I went back to get it, and I started taking it again, and amped it up a little bit, and once again, problem gone. And so, yeah, I really am confident that was the cause, and I'm so thankful that I found that, and that actually helped me out with this, because it was really debilitating as a student not being able to sleep.
It still gives me goosebumps. I'm so happy that it worked so well for you.
Oh, I'm so thankful, yeah.
Is there anything else that you can think of that we haven't touched on that we should include?
Nothing that I can really think of. I guess just emphasizing the importance of functional nutrition, and the fact that I went to the doctor and they're like, okay, there's no reason why you should be having this. So we're just going to give you this really powerful sleep medication that you should really not take too often. I'm like, okay, well, that's not a really great help. And so I almost ended up going to a sleep psychologist just because we could not figure out the problem. And so once again, I'm so thankful that we found such an amazing fix, totally safe. And I just hope that other people might see this and go to functional nutrition for an answer, because you just can't get all the help that you need from doctors sometimes.
It's such a good point, and it's the point of making sure to get connected with the right provider for what you're going through. You know, like our medical system is so wonderful for acute issues. Like if you get in a car accident, no other place I'd want to go. Like, do not come to me if you got in a car accident. But for some of these chronic issues, like you said, Kate, functional nutrition, that's why our whole clinic is built upon this, because it's just so impactful, and the outcomes that we get to see is really, really encouraging and exciting. And so thanks so much, Kate, for sharing your story. I'm going to link the insomnia video that Kate helped me to write up the script for, and that we filmed probably a few months ago now. So she went through, and there was at least, I think, 6 to 8 different nutrients you talked about and their importance with sleep. And we even joked about how beer can help with sleep because of hops. Certainly alcohol, that can affect quality of sleep, but hops can. So that you might find some interesting pieces in that video. And subscribe again, the bell for future videos. And then thanks again, Kate, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ashley.
Bye.
Hi again, it's Ashley here. I just want to take the time now to share with you this handout that Kate made. It is fantastic. Lots of great information. So I just want to walk you through this. Can probiotics help during antibiotics? So let's start with this part that says antibiotics. What do they do? Antibiotic use has a negative effect on the health of our gut microbiome. Short-term symptoms are diarrhea and nausea, but there are long-term symptoms as well. Although antibiotics get rid of the bad bacteria that causes an infection, they also get rid of our beneficial bacteria. When bacteria is removed from your system, new space opens up for antibiotic antibiotic resistant types to grow and dominate. Now, this is interesting. Most people don't know this, that a simple week-long antibiotic treatment can create a microbiome disturbance that lasts at least 2 years. Can you believe it? So we recommend that you talk to your doctor about whether it may be safe to wait on antibiotic treatment given your condition to avoid the long-term side effects. I'm certainly not making any medication recommendations here. Always check with your doctor, but it's definitely worth asking the question considering that microbiome disturbance. So certainly sometimes we cannot avoid antibiotics. Is there anything we can do to combat their negative effects? Yes. Research has shown that probiotics may assist in normalizing the unbalance caused by antibiotics. Incorporating probiotic foods into your eating plan during treatment has been shown to relieve symptoms of diarrhea and nausea. So probiotics, what are they? Probiotics are known as good or beneficial bacteria that provide a health benefit to you when taken in sufficient amounts. Studies show that probiotics may assist in normalizing the unbalance caused by antibiotics by reintroducing some good bacteria into your gut. Probiotics are used to reduce the occurrence of diarrhea and nausea during antibiotic treatment. So that's really notable. It's helping to get rid of and decrease the risk of you getting diarrhea and nausea when you're on antibiotics, which who wouldn't want that, right? Probiotic bacteria can be found in foods that have been fermented, with vegetables being some of the best choices, like a fermented vegetable, like real fermented pickles. Bubby's pickles are my favorite. Fermented probiotic foods are easy to incorporate into your diet. About 1 tablespoon per meal is a sufficient amount, and they're available in most grocery stores now. So now Kate has a really great chart showing how to incorporate fermented foods into your eating plan. You can pair kimchi with a chicken and brown rice bowl. You can add a spoonful of pickled red onion on top of your favorite salad. You can try a low-sugar kombucha beverage. There are lots of flavors. And if you're doing the pickled red onion, just make sure it's like real fermented and not, sometimes just pickled doesn't mean really fermented. Aged cheeses. You can snack on aged cheddar or Gouda cheese with whole grain crackers if you tolerate wheat. And just note that not all cheeses are a source of probiotics, so you can check the label to see if it says live active cultures. Sauerkrauts are really popular ones, so just a spoonful of sauerkraut to hummus or a veggie sandwich. Tempeh you can use as a meat replacement in your next stir fry. Of note with tempeh is that it's fermented soy, and if you heat it too high in that stir fry, you're going to kill most of the probiotics, so just be aware of that. You can use some miso paste, mix in a small spoonful of miso paste to your cup of soup, or some yogurt, starting with some yogurt, fruit, and a granola bar. Just watch out for the added sugars in the yogurt, and again, look on the label to make sure it says live active cultures. So probiotic supplements might help individuals with digestive issues, and this should really be individualized based upon what is going on with a particular individual, as far as what probiotic supplement might be helpful for him or her or them. And so here is a really easy probiotic recipe of fermented carrots with dill. It tastes like pickles, actually, because of the dill with the carrots, and it's, again, quick and easy. So here you can just kind of take a screenshot of that if you're interested. And then Kate also added some pictures of different fermented foods, so you kind of have an idea of what to look for at the store. So here's that tempeh. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that. That's kind of what it looks like. Kombucha, of course, most people know kombucha is going to be one of the higher sugar fermented foods. So if you're sensitive to sugars or just trying to be careful, if you're doing kombucha, you only have to do a few sips to get trillions of bacteria. Otherwise, choose something like fermented beets. And with that, again, just make sure it's truly fermented. The yogurt, just make sure to check the label that it's truly fermented. Same with the sauerkrauts. And then here's what that miso paste looked like. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I hope you had some great takeaways. If you have any questions, just type a comment below, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will talk again very soon. All right, bye-bye.